Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again today. Manchester United up against Arsenal. We will be talking about that just a little bit later in this video. But of course, Bukayo Saka, there is a big update, guys. He is not training. He has not trained with the team today. And definitely, that means there is a big possibility that we might be missing Bukayo Saka in today's game at the Old Trafford against Manchester United. Big blow. I'm going to be trying to dive into that and maybe what it means, but also the full update about why Saka did not train with the team, despite the fact that Mikel Arteta came out yesterday and he said that the player will be available and should be available after a late fitness test. We'll try to dive into that. Of course, we have comments from Henry Cherry on where Arsenal are at the moment. He said, yes, they are a good team. There is a project going on, but at the moment, they are not at the level I want them to be, as Thierry Henry, the legend of Arsenal Football Club. Do you think he's right? Maybe are we very far from where we need to be? And obviously, he's spoken about our game and Manchester United. I'll try to dive into that. Edin Ketia will be heading to Borussia Mönchengladbach. According to the latest list yesterday, Sky Sport did confirm that the player does not want to stay with Arsenal Football Club. Florian Balogun, moving to Middlesbrough. That is the latest about him. Maybe yes, maybe no. But for me, I feel like he needs a loan deal. He really needs, desperately, he needs a loan deal. And we are going to be diving into that, looking at that report to see what exactly is going to be happening with Balogun. And Arsenal have been linked with two new strikers. We'll be diving into that as well. And finally, shall we meet the 100 million asking price for the Italian duo Vlahovic and Dusan Kulusevski? That is the latest, and we will be discussing all that in this video. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Yesterday, we got to the 200 likes mark very closely. Very closely. But obviously, we got there. And of course, in this video, I'm going to ask you guys, let's get there to the 200 like mark. Let's make it 200 likes on this video. Thanks everybody who did that yesterday. And obviously the question yesterday was who is your best player in the Arsenal squad yesterday? And of course the vote was won by Aaron Ramsdale. Saka got some votes as well. Emile Smith-Rowe got some votes as well. But the big portion, the big people, the big number of people on this channel said it is Aaron Ramsdale who's the best, player at Arsenal at the moment. And obviously it was your turn to vote. Definitely, you got it. Ramsdale is Arsenal's favorite player, according to the fans on this channel. But without wasting more time, let's get to it. Because guys, if you start off with Bukayo Saka and the update around the club. Now, it is only hours before we play Manchester United. You know that it's a big game. It means the world to me. It means the world to Arsenal fans. It's a rivalry that has been there since the breakout of the Premier League. It's been a rivalry because we have always fought against Manchester United. When they were great, we were great. When they were, taking all the trophies, we were there to stop them. And obviously, our unbeaten run, being the invisible club, they tried to stop that. They tried to replicate that. They failed. And maybe that is why we are one of the best clubs there in English football, because we have the invisible, season, and we also have the unbeaten run. 49 games there, unbeaten, and United are still looking for their first season where they will go a game unbeaten. But of course, guys, that game is coming in very soon, and in the coming hours. Kickoff should be at exactly 23 hours today. But the big blow Arsenal are facing is that our star player, biggest talent on the planet right now, Bukayo Saka, will be out of action, according to the latest reports that I've looked at. Really scary. But obviously, I'll have to let you know before you guys tell me, Cossy, why didn't you tell us earlier before we began the game? Now, according to now.arsenal, they have said Bukayo Saka has not been pictured in Arsenal's training sessions today. Every other player seemed to have trained. Bukayo Saka did not. Mikel Arteta on Bukayo Saka this morning, he said, I am really hopeful, but we do not know. It's really short. It is really short. A short turnaround. The player has to be comfortable playing with a little injury. Obviously, guys, I'm one of those people who do not agree with Mikel. If Bukayo Saka is injured, let us leave him out. Let us leave him out of the squad. I do not want to force a player. We do not need to force Bukayo Saka to be playing against Manchester United. I don't think it changes the result. Yes, if you're going to win that game, Martinelli can do it. Pepe can do it. Anyone can do it. I don't see why Arsenal should be forcing Bukayo Saka to play in that game. Nevertheless, even start that game. He is a game changer. He's a very, very, very big game changer for Arsenal in big games. He always stands up. He's a very, very important player for us there. But obviously, guys, give him some time to rest. If he's not fit, we know we shouldn't be playing him today. And obviously, guys, I thought about it. He's one player that has actually played so many games for Arsenal, so many games for England, right from last season through the Euros. And obviously, this season, he needs some time to rest. He needs to get his time to rest. For me, if he's injured, let us not force it. Let us not force him. But obviously, that is the update. Bukayo Saka not actually being pictured, in the training sessions today. What does that mean? Does it mean Arsenal are done? Are we done for in this game? I don't think so. And of course, that is where I'm going to ask you the question in today's video. If Bukayo Saka does not make it to the starting lineup, who do you prefer? Should it be Gabriel Martinelli? Should it be Nicola Pepe? Pepe, with the experience, Pepe, of course, the elder player, 25 years of age there. He has the experience of playing big games like this. And this could be one of the games where you have Nicola Pepe come back and maybe make an impact on our season and maybe on the squad as well. Because, of course, there is also Gabriel Martinelli, guys, who has actually made already his mark in the last game against Newcastle when Saka limped off the pitch. He came on, scored a goal, but also created a very, very big impact, a very massive shake-up. What do you prefer? Who do you prefer? Martinelli or Pepe? Leave that in the comments below. And obviously, as you leave that with the comments below, let's make sure you hit a like on the video so that we get to 200 likes on this video. But guys, to move on away from that, and then dive into the transfers and the business that is actually moving around the club. Arsenal are set to meet the asking prices of 3 players in January, or probably even in the summer. Now, the first one is there, Dusan Vlahovic. I've spoken about this before. I talked about yesterday. The Arsenal were now more than willing, and they were thinking about meeting the asking price of Dusan Vlahovic. Now, there is a confirmation coming in from Italy. Reports coming in from Italy indicate that Dusan Vlahovic could be one of those players. The Arsenal will spend millions and millions of money on their name, on their shirt, to get them down at the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, at the moment, our record signing is Nicola Pepe, £72 million from Lille. That is the highest amount of money we've ever spent on a player. Right about now, Dusan Vlahovic is set to be Arsenal's record transfer signing if we can only get to that €80 million mark. Now, according to reports, Arsenal will meet with Fiorentina in January to discuss whether the player will be joining us or not. And obviously, if he's joining us, will it be in January or will it be in the summer? Arsenal will have to convince the player, obviously. I've talked about that as well. We do not have the consent. We do not have the interest. We do not have an agreement between us and the players between us and the player. There is nothing there between us and the third party, which is the player. But of course, we are in very, very good talks. We are in maximum agreement with Fiorentina. They would love to sell to us, and we are more than willing to give them whatever it takes, whatever they want to get Dusan Vlahovic. That's why I'm going to ask you guys the big question now. Do you think Dusan Vlahovic should be our next record transfer signing? Because again, guys, and when we think about it, record transfer signings, you need to be very careful, otherwise they might not work out. We've seen players sign for huge amounts of money. Romelu Lukaku to Manchester United didn't really work out. Jack Grealish, Manchester City, really struggling at the moment. And obviously, the case and the big example, Nicola Pepe to Arsenal, really did not actually work out. 72 million for a waste of money. Harry Maguire there at Manchester United, again, it didn't really work out. So my big question, guys, should we be paying 80 million euros, 80 million pounds for Dusan Vlahovic? make him our record transfer signing. Do you think he will make it, or should we splash that money on Alexander Isak, or probably any other player like Ollie Watkins, players that are proven in the Premier League like Watkins, or maybe Calvert-Lewin for that case? Let me know in the comments below. But talking about Arsenal meeting player asking prices, we are also really prepared to meet the asking price of the new Kylian Mbappe, Giannis Stosio. Now, of course, guys, I talked about Stosio in the last 48 hours, and I said Arsenal had made a bid for Giannis Stosio right there. Still, Bucharest confirmed that there is interest, there is a bid, there is something that has been placed on the table by Arsenal, but it is not enough. Now, according to the latest reports, Arsenal will increase their bid. They will meet the asking price for Giannis Stosio, the 10.5 million euros mark that has been set there by Steaua Bucharest owner. We will meet it, and we will be signing the new Kylian Mbappe, Giannis Stosio. Now, guys, look, 18 years of age for me. Again, that is not a transfer that makes my heart race. That is not a transfer that actually makes my, my body get goosebumps. But I'm going to say this. If Arsenal believe he is the next big thing, Mikel Arteta and obviously Edu have always seemed to be knowing and understanding what they want to do in the transfer windows. If you look at our last 6 signings, of course, if you add the likes of Partey and Gabriel, Ramsdale, they've actually worked well. They've actually been amazing signings. So if Arsenal feel like they should be getting Giannis Stosio for 10 million euros, then go ahead, get him, and let's see how the new Kylian Mbappe will impact football in England and obviously impact the structure of Arsenal Football Club. Obviously, guys, we do have a couple of youngsters, so we have to trust in the youngsters there. Saka, Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, and if players like Giannis Stosio come in, players like Dejan Kulusevski and players like Dusan Vlahovic, maybe the real young army will be formidable at the end. But because there, guys, Arsenal are more than willing to meet the asking price for Giannis Stosio right there, to sign him from Steaua Bucharest and bring him there at the Emirates Stadium. Looked at as one of the replacements of Mbappe, Lacazette, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Let's see, let's wait and see what's gonna happen with Giannis Stosio. Will he be a star at Arsenal? Will he be a star there in England and English football altogether? But obviously, guys, Arsenal have also been told the asking price, and they will be willing to meet the asking price of another player, Swedish player. In this time, it is Dejan Kulusevski. Now, I've spoken about Kulusevski all the time, and yesterday, right from there, from Italian journalists, we got a big confirmation that Arsenal are the club that is more interested. They want the player more. They want to get the player. That is Dejan Kulusevski. We want the player. We are more interested in getting him. It doesn't matter whether Spurs want him. It doesn't really matter. If we'll be fighting off Spurs, we will try to get the player. Now, Juve are more than convinced that they need to let some players go. Players including Dejan Kulusevski, Ramsey, Arthur Melo, and a couple of others. They will be leaving there. They'll be leaving Turin. They'll be heading for other destinations. Juve do want to bring in something different. They want to bring in new midfielders because at the moment they have so many of them and things are actually not actually working out. So at the moment, Arsenal are chasing a couple of midfielders there from Italy. One of them is Arthur Melo, but we want to meet the asking price of Dejan Kulusevski. It is also believed that Kulusevski will be replacing Nicola Pepe. Arsenal, obviously, Pepe has been an absolute flop there. Arsenal, we might let him go in January, we might let him go in the summer. So it looks like all the planning, all the plans that are being made according to Mikel Arteta there will be including players like Dejan Kulusevski meeting the asking price, which should be at least 35 million euros plus bonuses. According to Di Marzio, Juve will want at least 35 million euros plus bonuses because that is what they paid. Exactly. That is what they paid for the player when they were signing him almost less than 2 years ago from his parent club, Atlanta. So the big question now, guys, is Dejan Kulusevski worth 25, 35 or 40 million euros that we are going to pay for him? Is he worth the money? Is he better than Nicola Pepe? Can we get the best out of him? Because for me, again, that is what really matters. I want my club to get the best quality in the market. I want my club to get the best players in the market. Dejan Kulusevski, he is on the verge, probably on the verge of being our next signing. Can we meet the asking price, and can we get the best out of him? That and more comes up in the next episodes there of Arsenal Transfer News. But obviously, guys, talking about players that could leave the club as well, Eddie Balogun, why do I call him Eddie Balogun always? Florian Balogun could be leaving Arsenal for Middlesbrough. It has been rumored, of course, all around the club, and the news. Championship clubs do want to take Balogun away from the club, and Middlesbrough could be the club that actually take him. Look, I'm not really very skeptical about where it's gonna go. If it's going to go to the championship, I have a very good feeling about such moves. I feel like, you know, he's been playing for the under-23s, and if he goes down to the championship, get the game time, get all the numbers he can in the championship, maybe he will be ready to replace one of Aubameyang or Lacazette at the club. At the moment, he's really tired. He's really tired of playing for the under-23s. And actually, the right word to use is that he has surpassed that level. He's gone beyond the level of playing with the under-23. So the big question, guys, is Middlesbrough the right destination for Florian Balogun as we wait for him to arrive and join the project Young Arsenal, playing together, developing together, and maybe looking at titles in the future together as well. But one player that won't be joining us in that journey as we look to bolster our moves and rebuild the club to being great again is Edin Nketiah. Now, Nketiah will be joining one of two German Bundesliga clubs, and that is either Borussia Mönchengladbach or Bayer Leverkusen. At the moment, Gladbach are leading the race. Like I reported, they are leading the race to sign Edin Nketiah. Obviously, there's been a rumored swap deal between Edin Nketiah and Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder Dennis Zakaria. I don't see that happen anymore. I feel like Arsenal wants something different in terms of a midfielder. What I can say is Nketiah will be leaving the club either in the summer or in the January transfer window. We will be waiting to see what happens in that regard. And finally, guys, we're going to be talking about Henry, Thierry, and obviously Michael Carrick. The comments they have made ahead of the Manchester United game, the big clash that is coming up there for Arsenal against Manchester United at the Old Trafford, unbeaten in our last 5 games against Manchester United. What has the legend Henry Thierry said about our encounter tonight? Of course, there he said, I think Mikel Arteta is doing a very good job, but the improvement I want to see as an Arsenal fan is Arsenal to make to the top 4. I know Man United are not in the top 4, but still, it is something for me they can take. It would be a statement going there and winning well. That is according to Thierry Henry, speaking about our game with Manchester United. Of course, his comments are not really coming out of nowhere, because he said, Thierry Henry, on Arsenal's record with other clubs, he said, you conceded 11 goals without scoring 1. That's the improvement I'm waiting for to see at the Old Trafford. Every time they come up against a team they should lose to, they lose, but not only losing, they get smashed. He was talking about us there against Manchester City. We conceded 5. And again, against Liverpool, we conceded 4. Against Chelsea, we conceded 2. How many goals are those? Are they 11? Are they 12? We've conceded so many goals this season against the big teams. That has to end. And obviously, it is really affecting our goal difference on the table. You can't imagine we are among the top 4 contenders. We still have a -2 goal difference. So according to Thierry Henry, he says, yes, they are doing well. There is improvement, but I want to see Arsenal winning and winning well at the Old Trafford. I'm going to say one thing about Thierry Henry. He is a legend. He knows what it means to play for Arsenal, and he knows what it means to win against Manchester United. Michael Carrick on Mikel Arteta. And finally, he has also said, I think Mikel Arteta has done a good job at Arsenal, and you can see what they're trying to do in a certain direction, and pretty strong with that direction. So the credit goes to him, and it will be interesting to see how they get on for the rest of the season. That is in his press conference. That is for the Arsenal game. For me, guys, I'm gonna say Mikel Arteta. Yes, the blueprint he was trying to implement has actually come around. The blueprint is actually there. There is something for Arsenal fans to see when we are playing any team, any day in the Premier League or even away from the Premier League. But one thing I'm gonna say is we need to start picking up points very, very decently against big teams. We also need to start scoring more goals, clearing and making our goal difference better. But anyway, guys, nothing to say about Mikel. The last 3 months, the last 2 footballing months have been absolutely magnificent. And as a manager, he has really, really done well. Smash a like on the video. 200 likes is the target. Make sure you subscribe. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers next year. And I'll speak to you very, very soon there in the next one. Come on, you Gunners. I will be dropping my pre-warm-up for the Manchester United game. See you then.